cat's chasing the dog around. Like, dog, that ain't right. Alright, so this one, let's just look. No, I guess the purple buns of steel is not the treasure hunt. It must be the red one. So I'm just going to start in a corner here, over here, and we're going to start with Mad Props. I really like this one. It's a really cool plane, and there's a couple of them. I picked them up this year. Okay, there's the 08 Ford Focus, and you can tell it's got some special packaging, which is a little different. It was a little bit more money. And here's the Mazda MX-5 Miata. And once again, we have this special packaging. This is the Factory 500 13 SRT Viper, and that's a sweet ride right there, I gotta say. Really like that one. We'll move on. This one's new for 2016. This is the Terrain Storm Hot Wheels Daredevils. And you'll see a lot of what I grabbed in the vintage. Once we start going back through the years, what I got was just what struck me as it looked cool. And here is the Paradox, which is kind of cool. I have that design on the one we just looked at in the other last video. This is the solar one. So I'm just going to turn this now, because for some reason some of these are upside down. And then here we go again with another bat plane, another plane. Pretty cool. I've been giving Hot Wheels to the kids that are good at line. I'm a security guard at work, and I gave this to a little fella the other day. He was pretending he was an airplane, and I asked him if he liked Batman. He was about 4 years old, and he said, yeah. And I said, well, check that out. And I gave him that, and he just loved it. Here's the 17 Nissan Gtr R35. This is not another easy one. This was a difficult car to find. I did not find this one easily. And when I did find it, I grabbed both of them. We are going to quickly restack for storage purposes. And I'm sorry if I'm not the best cameraman right now, but I'm a little just tired. So I started to say I got the cancer diagnosis recently, and what I'm doing is I've been collecting comics for my sons anyway. As you can see here, I got some boxes beside me, and you know, I've been Twit off-road truck. It's got the brown dirt wheels, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to trade my Hot Wheels collection for a comic collection just to speed it up, because Land Rover Defender 90, I don't know how much time I have exactly, but I would like to get as much of a complete collection of comics together for my boys as possible. So I'm trying to get what I call the Uncle George years back together. That'd be about 1960s through the 60s into the 70s. And silver and bronze age, basically. You don't have to be all number ones or anything, but I would like there to be, like I said, there should still be some meat on the bone. I want some keys. I'd like to find a Hawk 181. I'd like to find a Spidey 129. It'd be nice to find them in higher grade, like when I originally had them, but they don't have to be perfect. And not just those books, but like some of the key 90s books. Here's a custom 18 Ford Mustang GT. This is part of the Hot Wheels race team. Joey Logano. And we have another here, and this is the Batmobile Dc. And this is number 56. Pretty cool. I passed one of these off to one of the kids at work the other day. They loved it. And here is the Lethal Diesel. And one of these boxes just contains a ton of treasure hunts, and that's what I'm waiting to find. And I guess we're just going to search till we find it. I did put most of the treasure hunts in 1 or 2 cases, and I have yet to run across it. But there is a lot of other cool stuff jammed in these. Here's the 12 Corvette Z06. I like that one too a lot. I found out I am a Corvette kind of guy. Here's the Viper again. And, you know, a lot of these are mint on card, you know. These are ready for grading. Here's a 96 Porsche Carrera. I like this one better than the white one. There's a white one with the same kind of ground effects graphics. Not as big of a fan as I am of that one. Here's the Bentley Continental Super Sports. Pretty cool car. Another nice sporty looking luxury automobile. And then we have the 19 Chevy Silverado Trail Boss LT with the brown muddy wheels, which is really, I think that's so cool. And here's the Donut Drifter. I don't believe that's a treasure hunt. Nope. And Bubble-matic. Bubble-matic, new for 2018. Xperia Motors. Is this a treasure hunt? No. I was going to say, this is a treasure hunt, I believe, this year. In 2020, not 2018. They made it the treasure hunt for 2020. That's why I grabbed it and was confused. So here's the Hot Wheels 450F. The motorcycle. They didn't make a whole lot of these. And I do have several different motorcycles as well, which I was lucky enough to find in some of the older cases as well. And here's the Triumph TR6, the black and red variation. This was a hard one to find as well. I opened a lot of cases of these to get that black one. Most of the time you get the green one. There were way more of the green one, I think. I'd love to know the exact numbers on some of this stuff, but I don't know how you find that out. But that variation was by far the more rare. And here we go again with the custom 18 Ford Mustang GT. I grabbed all the Corvettes, all the Mustangs, anytime I saw a Lambo. Here's the Duck and Roll Glow Racer. Glows in the dark. And followed up by another muddy-wheeled Chevy Silverado. And then we're going to go with the 95 Mazda RX-7. And I ended up putting that car back in. Darn it. And I forget which one it was, the one I pulled out for that friend. Here's the Bubble-matic. I'll have to go back and watch this. It will remind me. And here's another Bubble-matic. And we have another Mazda RX-7. Followed by a 91 GMC Cyclone. I really like this one too. The sharp looking vehicle right there. I remember those on the road. And there's another 2019 Kia Stinger in red. So as the variations came out with each new release or each new case, I grabbed them. And I was going to all the area, stores. Because I just became such a freak. I was just going nuts collecting these things. And I wanted to get every variation. If there was an exclusive, I wanted to find it. And it was a lot of fun while it lasted. And now I'm just ready to move on to my comics again. Those were my second love after sports cards. And I sold my uncle's collection, and like I said, now I'm kind of trying to get that collection back again for my boys, so they could enjoy it the way I did, and go through and price it, and learn about them. And I did Honda Prelude. This was another one that wasn't really easy to find. Here's the Subaru Wrxs1 Sti, sorry. Pretty cool graphics. driver pedal car, which is kind of cool. The kids love these whenever I was giving them away. And we have another Chevy Silverado Trailbox LT. And there's a Grand Cross, this version of it. And Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? There it is, the Mystery Machine. Followed up with this version of the Batmobile again. And followed up with the Duck and Roll. So this case looks to be primarily a mix of several different years, going back in time quite a few years in some cases. I can see some of the stuff coming up here, and I can't wait to see how it compares to what we've already been looking at. And here we go. We're going to start with this custom Ford Bronco. And I love the graphics. There's some really cool graphics. I love the ones that have surfboards and stuff like that, and I did grab some of those as well. There's another custom 18 Ford Mustang GT. Follow that up with another favorite of mine, the Rigger motor with the skulls for wheels, part of the Hot Wheels art cars. And some of them have like a candy skull design. There it is. Really nice. The attention to detail I just really dig. Here's the UNSC Warthog from the Halo, new for 2017. Hot Wheels screen time. So it's kind of cool what they release in the screen time run and some of that. Here's the Amazoom Hot Wheels art cars. Very, very artsy. And this is from 2015, it says. So we are going back in time again. And here's another of the motorcycles, and that one is from 2017. It says. And we're going to go down again. And here is the Hot Wheels Ford Transit Connect. This is the silver one. There are a couple variations of that one as well. Here's a Toyota off-road truck with the brown wheels. I got a lot of the brown wheel variations just because they weren't as common as the black ones. So I just, when I saw them, I just snapped them up. I wanted to have, like I said, a master collection with multiples of what I like, and that's exactly what I did. I intended for these to go to my son later on, and as well as the comic collection, but we're speeding things up now, and I'm going to put the comic collection together first. That's taking precedent over the Hot Wheels, unfortunately. As much as I like these and would like to put them back for the boys, I am going to sacrifice these for the comic book collection. Hi, Luna. Pretty kid. And here is another Porsche 935. And well, here's another favorite of mine from the set, Corvette C7 V6. I really like that car a lot. That's a sharp car. As well as this Corvette C8R. I'm giving you a good look at it because it is pretty sweet. And we're going to move on. This is the 2016 Ford GT Race. Another one that is new to the line. Very nice. And this is the 2020 Koenigsegg. Again, this has the green this time and a darker gunmetal gray finish. And another favorite this year, the Ford Gt40. Very, very cool. '69 Ford Mustang Boss 302. This was another one that was very difficult to come by. I saw more of these in the pleasure packs, I'll call them, these. There were some multi-packs of like 9 and 20, I think, and 10, and you would see this car occasionally in those. There's another 2020 Koenigsegg. Hope I'm saying that right. And there we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I fit 9 of these cars in this particular run. So I'm 9 to 10 cars in each slot would be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80. 80, no, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 60 times 4 is 240. So approximately 240 cars if I jam them all in and get 9 in each one. I don't think I can do that because some of the packs are fatter than others, like that, for example. They're not all like that. Most of them are pretty close to the same size. So you're going to get pretty close to, like I thought, about 200 per box. There's 9 boxes. That's 1,800 cars. And some of these are really rare. Here's the 20 Jeep Gladiator with the lights on the back. And this was another nice one that came out. This is the fast bed hauler. You can fit a Hot Wheel on the back of it. Hot Wheels Metro. I like the Metro set too. There's some neat cars in there. And we got another of the Halo vehicles. The Warthog. I do. Are you coming to check on me? Here is the Mig Rig. Pretty cool. And this one's a vintage. This one's from 2013. So you have little pieces, parts that go all over the place here. The kids really liked this one. The Gotta Go. I was like, guys, look, it's a toilet and it's a car. And they were like, cool, man. And we have another green Porsche Carrera 96. And we have a 21 Ford Bronco. Pretty cool. And last but not least, we have another fast bed hauler. So let's count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So even if it's 9, I mean, we're still looking at some good numbers. We got radio again, and we also have another mystery machine. Followed by the Land Rover Defender 90. Pretty cool. And then we have, for 2018, this is a zoom in. Pretty cool. Spare motors. You can fit your GoPro or whatever on there, I guess it is. And use it. And we have another Gotta Go. And followed up new for 2020. I like the paint job on this one. The 70 Volkswagen Baja Bug. There's a brown wheel version. And you'll also get somewhere in here. Here's the Surf and Turf. This one has the surfboard on top. Boo boos. That's my girl. And then we have, well, that's an old one. Muscle Tone. And it says that there on the vehicle. Muscle Tone. And this one is from 2001. How cool is that? But it says 2002 right there. I remember my son, Eddie, was born in 2000. He was a 2000 baby. And I bought him, they were 2 for $1. They were on sale at Christmas. And I bought him so many Hot Wheels, he was sick of opening them by the end of the day. He was like, dang it, more Hot Wheels, Dad? McLaren Speedtail. Pretty cool. So this particular one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the ones that are short, like a lot of those race cars, those I might get 10, but it looks like most of them are going to be 9. So that's a number we'll go with. Chrysler 300C. Very cool. I opened a lot of cars to try and get this one, and this is from 2015. I put a lot of them out on the pegs, sorted through them, and I just didn't get very many of those. Here's the new Steel Stamp series. Very cool. It has all the weight of the Hot Wheels. And this one is from 1994, guys. So that's an older one. And I'm going to stop looking at years here. Here's a fast bed hauler. I just wanted to show you that they're spread out all over. This is a pretty sweet 68 El Camino. And that's part of the Flying Customs Hot Wheels set. And you're going to find a lot of those subset cars. There's another art car. Amazon, I guess. Custom small block for 2021. It's like a Lego. See here, I'll show you. So they've crossed over with a lot of other Mattel toys, which is kind of cool. Here's the Hotweiler instead of a Rottweiler. Kind of cool. Pretty tough. Has the look of a dog about it, I guess. I'm going to set this down for a moment. Okay, there we go. And we have a rapid responder. Pretty cool. Very cool. This one's from 2015. And last but not least, another 91 GMC Cyclone. So you'll see particular cars repeat within these cases, and that was because that's the way I found them, and, seated through these other cases. And some are going to be older than others because they just happen to be a lot more old ones coming through in the 72 count boxes. But mostly you're going to find these 2021 or 2020s, 2018 Bentley Continental GT3. I just cornered the market on those because that's just what was available to me. There's another 98 on Prelude in these international cases. And then here's a 26 Ford GT Race again. I really like this car a lot. And then we have a 67 Ford Gt40 Mk4. Very cool. Not a lot of those floating around either. And this white 64 Corvette Stingray, I found a ton of reds, next to no whites. So I think there were a couple in this case. I bought them up. So here's another Loopster from Extreme Motors. It's one of the Fun Park ones. And we have another Ford GT Race from the new run. There's a Lancia Delta I can't read that. Integral. Sorry. My glasses are fogging up. And then we have a 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser. Pretty cool. And that's it for that one. And I'm going to start heating it up here. I don't want to run out of time. And this will probably be the last box for tonight. It's getting to be so late. And I may stop here shortly. I mean, you get the idea. I just wanted to see part of what the spread looks like. It's a really cool one here, the off-duty. It's a nice one right here. 32 Ford. Very cool. Here's the Gotta Go, new for 2017 tag. And here's another Cosmic Coupe. I really like that one too. There's a really cool one here, new for 2021. I got quite a few of those. Back, here they come. So there's another one, and there's a Corvette as well. And another one of those, as well as another one of those. There it is. And we also have another one of these Cosmic Coupes. So that slot is really full of Cosmic Coupes and a couple other interesting little finds. Trying to show as much of this collection as possible so you see what you're getting for your comic books. If you're interested in swapping out, you're getting a very nice, large, diverse collection of Hot Wheels. It's just time for me to move on to something else, and I'm hoping somebody who's been in comics for a while is ready to move on and try something new too. Corvette C8R. I have an instant collection here for you that will get you started, and then you can start working your way back and getting into the even older ones. I take you back into the 90s and leave it to you to go further back, which is what I intended on doing. I made the decision to move back on the comic books again. I've been collecting comics on and off for years, and it's just time for me to go back to them. It's one of my first loves in collecting. And I got quite a few of them now, and I hope my sons have fun going through them. That's a real cool one right there too. I like that thresher. But I have a lot of really cool storylines now. The Venom, Carnage storylines, the King in Black, and a lot of different new cool stuff. The comic books have gotten branched out and doing some new and exciting things, just like all the other hobbies. And it's just, I feel them calling me back. So here is another of those. And another of these. And ooh, that's a new one. That is a Ford Shelby Gt350R. Like that paint job. And then we have another, or no, this is a 10 Shelby Gt500 Super Snake. And there's the logo. The attention to detail is just amazing on these. When I was a kid, I had them, but we played with ours. They ended up in the garden, and then they'd get tilled up the next year, and we would play with them again. And my brothers and I, we never really collected them to keep them in nice shape and collection. And I was never really that into them, to be honest. I grew out of them so quick. I was more into baseball cards. Well, I love this right here, 67 Camaro, baby. And that's a nice one right there. That's another one that you just didn't see a whole lot of these in cases. So every time I see that car, I buy it. Here's new for 2020 again, the Land Rover Defender 90. And last but not least, we have the high-tech Missile. This is a sweet car too right here. It's another one best for track. Really gnarly looking car right there. A lot of my friends collected these in the 90s, going after the treasure hunts, and again, it was lost on me. And then something happened this year, and I don't know what it was. I saw them on the pegs at work when I was doing my rounds. And I just started going through, and then I found some treasure hunts right on the pegs, and I was like, oh man. So I went home, started doing some investigating on what the treasure hunts were, and then I went back and found some more. And I was like, wow, that's it, I'm hooked. And I just started hitting all the other Mark stores and Targets. This is a really nice one right here. I like this one a lot. And I found a bunch of other cool cars, and that was, as they say, that. I've been buying them pretty much for the last year and some change. Renault Sports RS1. And this one here is another one. She's barking at the cat right now. The cat is taunting her. Miss Kitty. Here's another one of the white 64 Corvette Stingrays. I do have some of the red ones in here too, which you'll see. This is the Skull Shaker Treasure Hunt. You can see very clearly. There's the Treasure Hunt mark. And we have another 08 Ford Focus. So, like I said, if there were multiples on the pegs, I would buy what I liked. Here's another Viper. And I would buy as many as I liked, because I wanted to have a diverse and well-collected collection. Here's a 12 Corvette C6. And now it could be yours if you have a really cool comic book collection. And like I said, it don't have to be all number ones. That's not what I'm all about. It don't have to be all super, super expensive. But if you have a lifetime collection that's several boxes and you got some vintage, I'm going to be a happy guy. And when you get these cars, you're going to be a happy guy. Because like I said, you're going to get all these cars, every bit of them. And all of the display boxes. And those individually are worth money as well. And they will continue to go up in value as well. How many 2020s are left? The COVID year, you know? These might end up being really rare. And you're going to have 9 plus the ones I throw in, should you make the deal with me. And should you actually be able to come and meet me. Because if you can come to me, I'm going to be able to throw more in. I don't have my truck anymore, so I can only fit so much in my car. I'll fit the bulk of the trade, basically. And then anything that would have been extra will just stay home. But if you're able to come to me, then I'm just going to say, hey, come on, and let's load it up. And we're going to load it all up. The cat is very curious what I'm doing. Here's the green version. Eesh, eesh. There's another Corvette. And here is the Dodge Charger Drift police car. And we have another Cosmic Coupe. Oh, that's a nice one. This was a hard one to find. 68 Shelby Gt500. Not an easy one to find, I can tell you that. The purple, the flames, very popular. And I don't know if there just weren't that many of them, but I never found them on the hooks. And here's another Xperia Motors, Nomadic. I think I was remembering that was the treasure hunt this year. And whenever I saw them, I was like, I'm just grabbing them. And here's the Hollinator. It's another one that'll hold your smaller Hot Wheels. Trying to make it through here as quick as I can. I'm a little slower now because it's getting to be pretty late, but I do want you to see what all is included in this and inspire you to maybe hook me up with a cool comic book collection for it. So here is the Vancinator. I don't even know what that is. It's really cool though. I'll tell you right now, the kids love it because I popped a few of this one open because it's so shiny. And I've given it as a treat to the kids that are good at work, helping Grandma unload groceries and stuff. And I walk up to them and say, hey, are you always this good? And Grandma says, yeah, sometimes. Or no, he's just putting on a show. And it doesn't matter. All kids are pretty good, especially when they're helping out. I give them a Hot Wheel and everybody's happy. There's a Camaro concept. And it's gotten me some fans now with these kids, you know. I don't want them to be afraid. They always say call me officer, and I want them to be comfortable around the officers. I don't want them to be afraid of me. And I can't stand it when the parents are like, you're going to leave with him if you keep being bad. And they make me like this scary guy. I'm not a scary guy. I'm a nice guy. I take this one again. I really like a lot of those X-Racers and Xperia Motors. Some of those are really cool. I really like the way that they designed some of those. So that is that in that row. So as you can see, it's a very diverse collection. You're getting a little bit of everything. Here's another Buns of Steel. This is another one of the purple ones. And there's another Porsche. And there's another Nissan GT. There's another Bobo. There's the Gt500. Art car. The art cars are really nice. I like the art cars. I gotta say, I was a fan. Mr. Rat. Very cool. Has that vintage look about it. Legends of Speed. New for 2017. Following it up. Cosmic Coupe. And another Corvette. I remember the lady was like, "Are you buying all our Cosmic Coupes?" And I was like, "Yep." And I bought like 20 of them that day or something. It was crazy. But they looked so cool all together, I didn't want to split them up. Alpha Pursuit. And there you go. And that's the other one. So sometimes they try to limit what you buy. They're like, "Hey, you can't buy all these." It's like, really? Why not? Well, the money's not green enough, you don't get it. Well, what if somebody else wants them? Well, what if the sky falls? It ain't my problem. I'm here now. Very cool. Very fast. And I was wrong. I do have the blue one. So rock 'em, sock 'em. There's the blue. I have the red and the blue. And another that. Oh, the very cool. New for 2016. Vancinator. Don't believe that's a treasure hunt. And we're going to follow that up. The Honda Civic Si. And the 68 El Camino. And the Hot Tub. It's got the bubbles. I love it. Very cool. And check that out. 40 something. $2,002. And in this row, last but not least, the Renault Sport RS01 again. And that's only the second one of those. So there, you know, you're kind of seeing, like I said, what came out of the boxes and what struck me as cool and what was rare. Because most of the time there wasn't a whole lot of these cars in a case, which is what made me grab them in the first place. I didn't want the ones that there were a million of. I wanted the ones that there were far less of. Here's the purple version of the Road Bandit with the mismatched wheels. And as you can see, this case was hot with Corvettes. There's another Porsche Carrera. Another Ford Gt40. And we're coming up on the end, kids. Finally. I get kind of feeling. But again, I did want you to see exactly what you're getting. There's the Gas Monkey Garage. This was one of the rare ones. The 55 Chevy Bel Air Gasser. All bronzed out. I like that. And here we go again. And I don't mind advertising for Marks. I work for them as a subcontractor, and they're awesome. They got great products. As you can see, I'm very fond of them. Not all of them have tags either. Some will, some won't. Unfortunately, I couldn't help it if they tagged them before I got to them. And I'll leave it up to you if you want to try to remove them on any of them. That'll be entirely up to you. No good. Not right now. Daddy's almost done. Watch out. Go play with Daddy for a minute.